So today I want to show you how to use a bait caster. We'll be going over different parts, how it works, why to use it, when to use it, how to use it, and at the end of the video we'll be just showing me fishing using it. So stick around and I'll have some tips at the end. So here is my newest rod. It's a laser. The reel's also a laser. A lose, my bad. A lose. Funny story, I've been eyeballing this reel for quite some time. It sits about $80 at Walmart. When I went to go buy it, I grabbed it off the shelf at $61. I thought it was on sale. When I went to go check out, $80 was the price. But it was too late, I couldn't say no. I was already there. But yeah, so here, this knob is your tension knob, right? That determines how tight that line is, how loose that line is. On this side, your magnetic brake system, right? Max is all the way on, minimum is off. Here, your bait release, your latch release, your button switch, whatever you want to call it. This knob here tightens up your reel. You don't really need to worry about that one. Mine here has a button so I can open this, take the spool out. Here is the line guide. Really the most important parts is the tension knob and the brake system. Right, so now we understand the parts. Let me throw a lure on here, talk more about that. So now we understand the parts. So let's go over why we would use a bait caster. So a bait caster just gives you more power, gives you more accuracy. See, there's pros and cons between the bait caster and the spinning reel. Really, it's all coming down to preference, which one you're wanting to fish. Personally, I do like using the bait caster a lot more. It's real fun when you get the hang of it. But a spinning reel is just a lot more easier, just a lot more versatile. The bait caster, right, it's meant to throw heavier jigs. It's meant to be accurate. So on this one, I'm putting on the crankbait. This is a Strike King, I believe, just a normal size. Usually I throw crankbaits on here. You can throw jigs, crankbaits, umbrellas, footballs, whatever. Anything heavy, big. That's what you're going to want to use on here. So now we understand the parts, why. Let's go over when. Usually I choose to fish it at lakes, bigger bodies of water. Here's a little bit bigger. This is a river. It's still pretty small. I haven't caught anything here yet, but figured we'd give it a try today. So again, just bigger fish, accuracy, bigger bodies of water, bigger baits, bigger everything. You can throw small jigs on here, but it's complicated. You need a good reel. This is not that. So we'll be sticking to the bigger baits. So now we understand parts, why, where. Let's go over how to use it, how to set it up. Obviously that's the main important part, that's why you're here. So again, bigger bait, let it go out in front of you, alright? The knob here, your tension knob, make sure that's all the way up, away from you, twisted. That means it's tight. The knob, the magnetic brake system, make sure that's max. We'll be starting out at max, so you can adjust that later as you get better. So just reel in your bait. Some people say the bait has a different weight when it's wet. I live by that and I'll just dip it in the water. So now you want to reel it up to about the tip. Leave some line there, about a foot of line there. So now you want to open the latch, right? And the bait shouldn't move, it shouldn't drop. It stays still, latch is open. So now we'll come to the tension knob, and we will slowly, very, very slowly twist that towards you to this. So just a hairline twist towards me, slowly, slowly, until that bait starts to sink. It's slowly sinking. Now you don't want it to go too fast, you don't want it to go too slow, and it should go all the way till it hits the water and stop. When it hits the water, it should stop. It shouldn't sink further, it shouldn't stop above the water. It should hit the water surface and stop no further. So let me do that again. Knob is all the way away from me, tight. Open the latch, doesn't drop. Twist the tension knob towards you until it slowly sinks. Not too fast, not too slow. Hit the water, stop. So let me show you that when the knob is too loose. So here's too loose. I'm going to open the latch and watch. That lure is going to drop straight down and into the water. Again, straight down into the water. So now we bird nested because of that. Now don't be scared to bird nest it. It's going to happen. It happens to everybody. It's very, very easy to fix it. We'll go over that later. So again, let's set this up. Tension knob is all the way away from me, tight. Open the latch, slowly pull it towards you, loosening it. That bait will drop. Hit the water, stop. It almost doesn't even lay flat, it's still all lateral. So now that's good, alright, we'll reel it in. That's all set up. Now, the braking system, don't worry about that just yet. So because the braking system is all the way on, it is helping us. We don't need to rely on our thumbs. Look at that. Nice. So we will move down here. So with our tension set up, our brakes all the way on, okay, we're going to open that latch and hold the spool with our thumb. We don't hold the spool, it drops, right? So hold the spool with your thumb, and just like a normal spin cast, you're going to throw it straight out there. When you release your thumb, so that spool is loose and it slides as you release, right? So let's throw it, release your thumb, and you don't even have to worry about your thumb because the brake system is on, right? So now we can just reel it in. So hold the spool with your thumb, open the latch, take your thumb off, cast, it hits the water and it doesn't tangle, right? But that's only because the system is helping us. If we turn that just one, right now it's right at max before it was past max. Still helps us. It casts a little bit further. The more that system is helping you, the less you can cast. The less that system is helping you, the further you can cast, right? So again, I'm going to twist that knob, just slowly getting used to that feeling. Stopping the spool as it's coming to the water with your thumb. Again, I'm going to twist that knob, throw it, let that line glide between your thumb. Hold the spool with your thumb, cast, release, catch it again with your thumb, catch it. like I said, when you turn this off more, right now it's at 7, that's about usually where I keep it. You need to rely on your thumb a lot more to prevent that from bird's nesting. If you don't use your thumb, you're going to catch a bird's nest and it's going to be a pain in the ass. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn it all the way to 4. I'm going to throw it towards that fish that just jumped. I just threw it in all that weed right there. Okay, pretend like that did not happen. We did not get stuck in that bush over there. So, now we understand how to cast it, the parts, why to use it, when to use it, all of that good stuff. Right, an obvious question is, what do I do when I bird's nest? So to help you prevent from bird's nesting, right, give you a better chance, with the bait caster, you kind of want to side cast it, right? When you throw it, there's just not as much tension, right? The line kind of comes back on you, all that bad stuff, right? We don't want that. So when you're throwing a cast, try to sidearm it more, right? But also pay attention, you don't want to throw it too flat, because when the lure hits the water first and the line keeps going, that's what loosens it up back here, giving you that bird's nest. So kind of throw it up and out rather than out and down, straight ahead. Throw it up and out so that that line has time to catch up, tighten out before reaching the lure. So now let me show you how to fix that bird's nest when it does happen. Right, so I'll throw a flat cast to give you that example. Here's a flat cast, bird's nest. See, horrible, nasty, ugly, we don't want that. Right, so close it, do not reel it in, you're gonna make it worse. Close it, pull that out, pull it as tight as you can. Right, now open it and pull that line out more, keeping your thumb on it. Pull, pull, pull until that line fixes itself. It will tighten itself. Just keep pulling. Pull, pull, pull. Don't pull too fast. Don't pull too slow. Just pull, pull, pull. Pull. Right now it's slowly fixing itself. It's tight again. Just keep pulling it a little bit more until it's all the way there. You can even close it. Pull it tight. Open it again and then keep pulling. Always tighten it as you go. So now we're done. So you're going to hold the line tight above the guide and just start reeling it back all in. Making sure that you're not knotting, tangling it up here. This is all tight. Just keep reeling. And now it's all fixed. Just reel my lure back in. And we're all good. See, it's all fixed. Cast again, back into the shrubs. Another thing, this is also again just preference. You can see I have monoline on mine. I prefer to use monoline with bait casters. I feel like it just feels better here in this area. I feel like the tangling is not as much of a problem. You can just pull that knot and it will fix itself as long as that line is wet. For the most part, it will just fix itself. The bird's nesting is not that annoying. I've used another bait caster with braided line, and honestly I just prefer the mono. So yeah, that's how to use, why you use it, when to use it, parts. Next video, hopefully I'll be going over how to use, why to use, when to use, where to use a fly rod. So stay tuned to that. For the rest of the video, let's just fish and explore this place. See, I just bird nested. Wasn't even trying to do nothing, it just happened. So again, we'll just pull, 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 all the way until that line fixes itself, making sure that we're keeping it tight as we're going. Sometimes you're gonna pull a lot of line out. Sometimes it just takes a few pulls. Alright, so let me try to show you the purpose of the bait caster, right? Distance, accuracy. I want to throw it that direction all the way to the other side of the bank, right? So our brake system, pretty turned off. It's at 4 right now, right? So we have to rely on our thumb a little bit more. So again, all the way to the other side of the bank. Almost, but hey, we didn't bird's nest. We're gonna get right into those weeds. I've been told this is not a very good spot to be fishing. It seems like that's the case. I would like to catch something here. I'm gonna move further down where I know there's less commotion, less traffic. Hopefully we'll have better luck down there. Hopefully there's anything down there. One thing about bass fishing is you're gonna cover a lot of water. A lot of water. They like to hide in structure, rocks, trees, bushes, debris, whatever, name it. If you can find that structure and you can find a spot to cast, you're cooking. I can see some fish coming up to the top, not necessarily breaking the surface. It gives me hope. Figured today would be a good day of fishing. The sun's out, pretty clear skies. Watch this train. idea I had is when I'm out here, I find a lot of other people's lures that they've lost, left behind, whatever. And I mean a lot. Like this one right here. It's like lodged. Well, the video is to use other people's lures. See if I can catch anything with them. One thing to consider with this bait rod is if you are bird's nesting about every other cast, every cast, maybe you should consider switching to a heavier lure. Maybe the tension is too loose. Maybe your thumb is not guiding the spool correctly. Now I'm thinking these posts here could hold some fish. I threw a few casts while that train was passing, and I think the train was disrupting it, but even then maybe there's not fish right there. This is the lure I just found, just a worm with a jig head on it. I'm not exactly sure what kind of head that's called. If you know, maybe leave a comment. I believe it sits flat underwater and the tail wiggles around. You could maybe get away with throwing something like this on the bait caster, maybe a little bit of a heavier weight. But yeah, it should work. Some examples of lures you probably wouldn't want to throw on the bait caster. This is the only tackle I have on me right now, so we'll go with this. Something like this tiny crankbait, grubs, rooster tails, swimmers, small swimmers. You know, just anything small that's not heavy. You want some weight on that lure. I've been to this part, but I haven't been past that little bend over there. So that is today's goal. It's about 9:55. So about an hour left of fishing. I know this area right here has been some fish, but it's pretty shallow. I'm scared to throw the crank in there. Could maybe get a good cast going that way. Doesn't hurt to try it, right? Look at all this. It's just too shallow, right? Also probably not the best color to be using, I guess. It's pretty bright out. I found this lure here. I figured I'd just use it because I know bass eat bass, right? This is a bass looking lure. I have the most luck on crankbaits. Again, just another reason to use it. One thing I wanted to mention, that train cut me off before I could. One thing I do dislike about this new rod, right? Look where that bait hook is. It's at the bottom of the handle. So when I go to rest my hook, I mean, just look where my hand is, right? That's pretty inconvenient. Oh my god, there's a deer. See him? Oh, there's a fish right there. About that big. I think there's bass here. There's a shoe sole here. There's a tube here. It's a good sign, right? Seems pretty shallow here. I mean, maybe by those trees, I guess we'll give it a shot and probably get out of here. There's a fish right there, I see him. But again, I mean, with the bait caster, you're using bigger lures, bigger fish. It's a small fish right there, he's not gonna bite this. One more thing I should probably mention. Bait casters come in a left hand and a right hand. I'm going to make sure you get one to fit you. Right, this one is a left-handed, I'm right-handed. So I should be using a right hand, but they didn't have a right hand. So how about this one? Technique you can use when you cast it as your lure is still in the air, switch hands. So as you cast it, switch hands as the lure is in the air. I'll show you that. So cast, switch, cast, switch. think that about wraps up the video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, next video, hopefully we'll go over the fly rod. I'm still learning it, still getting the hang of it.